Hello everybody, welcome to the San Andreas Emergency Services FiveM roleplay server and community. My name is Jeff. I am the director here of the community, and I would like to just welcome you to the video. The purpose of this video is to serve as a training video for our new law enforcement recruits, as well as just a general overview due to the public interest of the police interaction script by Scotty and Knobs Dev. Now, we have been beta testing the police interaction script here on our server for roughly a month now. We've located and reported most of, if not all of the bugs that we've come across. And I do want to say that, disclaimer on this video, there are things that I currently am going to say are broken or are buggy, but that is due to the fact I do not have the updated script. I do believe Scotty has been working on it in the background, taking the feedback that we have been providing him in order to make the script better and to fix some of the bugs. I do also want to preface the fact that I'm going to be describing our keys that are currently set to open the menus versus the default keys. Our keys are Control E for the traffic stop menu and then Control U for the other interaction menu. However, by default, I do believe they are just E and P for the menus. We found that the default keys were not controller friendly, so I do advise that once this is released, you do go ahead and update your keys to Control E and to Control U because they do not conflict with anything on your controller. With all that being said, we're going to go ahead and just kind of dive right into it. So basically, if you don't know what PIS is, it's a script that allows you to interact with the AI in your FiveM server. And honestly, my first just general overview and thoughts is that the script is very promising. The AI traffic stops do work very well. The arresting, again, in our version, is not very good. It really doesn't work. And there's some other just miscellaneous things you can do with this script that generally do work quite well. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the menu. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and hit Control U. This is just the basic PIS menu. And you know what? Actually, one second. Let me go ahead and restart the script just so we know it's going to be running pretty good. I have found that in this version, we do need to restart it. Not often, but sometimes we do need to restart it periodically throughout our patrols, just because the script ultimately just breaks at some point. So, not the end of the world. We just hit /restart and do it. Again, we're going to go ahead and hit Control U. It's going to bring up the main PIS menu. So we're going to start with the interactions. Handcuffing does not work, or I have never gotten it to work in our version. But breathalyze, drugalize, and search all do work, and they work well. Moving on, we're going to go down to the radio now. This is basically your radio functions. You can call for prisoner transport, a tow truck, as well as run license plates and IDs. I know that running the plates and IDs work very well. The tow truck works. I am not sure about prisoner transport as I can never get anyone arrested, so I really can't tell you if that works or not. Two comments about these functions. First of all, with the tow truck has been, I've found to be very useful for our community. Not only does it work for the AI vehicles, but it also works if a player spawned in a vehicle and say you arrested them legitimately, a real player, you can actually call for a tow truck and it will come and pick up the vehicle. This is particularly good because now we no longer have to roleplay county tow coming out. County tow is actually a real thing now. And the other cool feature about that is after you call the tow truck up, I've found that it generates a random time that it's going to take for the tow truck to show up, anywhere between 1 and 5 minutes, I have found. So that's actually also cool because it's giving you more of a realistic response time on your tow truck showing up, so that's cool. Running plates and IDs, again, works well. However, it is not linked to any sort of legitimate database, so do not try to use this on your real civilians in game. I would leave that up to your CAD system to rely on information for that. Or I guess if you don't have a CAD, you could just use this to generate a random response, and as long as your civilians are okay to roleplay that out, then go ahead and do that. Running plates and IDs work pretty much 100% of the time, and the tow truck I found works about 90% of the time, if not more. So both good functions. Let's go ahead and go to the weapons. This is going to allow you to equip the generic loadout as well as equip your carbine and shotgun. I have not used any of those. I imagine they work just fine. We have a different menu for that, so it's really not been a big deal for us. We're going to go ahead and exit out of here and hit yes. Okay, so another thing that I want to go over before we go ahead and pull someone over is the random events that are generated by the script itself. If you look on the bottom left of my screen next to the speedometer, periodically you're going to see random events being generated. These are just random traffic callouts. It's nothing too crazy, but sometimes it will generate a random event such as a speeder, someone with no headlights, a unroadworthy vehicle, and there's probably others that I'm forgetting. But basically it just generates random events for AI to do, and you'll be able to pick them out. The other random events that this script generates are pursuits and also like shots fired. I found that there's been times I've pulled AI over, they've gotten out and started shooting at me. And then there's times they will flee from you, and whether it's initially when you try to stop them or during the traffic stop itself, pursuits do happen. This is completely randomly generated. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's not, as far as I can tell, it's really not a common occurrence. It is more rare than, it's more uncommon than common for that to happen, but it is worth noting. The pursuits are sometimes annoying just because you will have a car that's speeding around going crazy, and you won't know if it's a real person or AI, especially if you have the player blips disabled on your server. So that's just something to note for you guys. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and test out the traffic stop functionality of the server, or of the script. We're going to grab this car coming up here. Unfortunately, it is his unlucky day. He's going to be getting pulled over for doing nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. That's okay. So, to flag the vehicle, it's just like LSPDFR. You're going to hit Shift on your keyboard or A on your controller, and it's going to say activate your siren to stop the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and stop him, activate my lights, get him stopped. As you can see on the bottom left, it gives you information about the vehicle, which is very cool. As you can see here, guys, this is not a great spot to stop a car. In my experience, the AI does not stop in good locations. They don't actually pull over, so he included a mimic script. /mimic is what enables that, and then the car will follow you over to where you want it to go. I use this all the time. It's not the most legit thing in the world, but it does get the vehicle off the road, and you are able to proceed on with your stop. So we're going to move him right up here to a nice safe location, and we're going to hit A, Shift, or I believe you can swipe /mimic again, and they will stop mimicking you. I'm going to position my vehicle behind position my vehicle behind his, and we're going to approach the driver. At this time, we're going to go ahead and get ready to open up our traffic stop menu. To do that on our server, we're going to hit Control E. Brings up your traffic stop menu in the top right. As you can see, the menu is very similar to LSPDFR's menu. You can change your speech. You can be normal or aggressive. I always use aggressive. Keep in mind that if you want to select one, you do have to select it and then hit enter for it to stay. We can tell them hello. Yep. And then we can ask them for their identification. As you can see at the bottom left, George Hunter is his name, 42458. Again, this is a completely made up and randomly generated name combination, so it really doesn't mean anything. From there, if you'd like, you can go on to question the driver. Have you had anything to drink today? No, sir. Have you took any illegal drugs recently? And it looks like it just did not give me a response on that, but that's okay. It will give you a response. Is there anything illegal in the vehicle? And can I search your vehicle? Go ahead. Generally, this works quite well. Again, it's going to be a little bit buggy, but they do work for all intents and purposes. So at this time, I've questioned him. I've got his consent to search, but let's go ahead and back and run his information before we do any of that. We are going to go ahead and hit Control U again. Bring up our menu. We're going to go to radio. We're going to run his plate. And for how I like to do this is I'll go into the closest view I can and then angle my camera up just a little bit. And I got 6'4", Charles John Boy, 244. And Jordan Short is the registered owner of the vehicle. Is 1995, and there is 0 flags on the vehicle, which is great. So I already forget that guy's name. That's fine. Whenever I hit Run ID, it's going to automatically populate that in there. You're going to hit Enter, and it's going to run him. As you can see, he has 2 sights, and in this case, it gives you a flag for he's wanted, got a warrant out. Unfortunately, like I said, the arresting doesn't really work too well, so I'm just gonna disregard that and say he's clean, he's good to go. We're just gonna search his car and get on our way. Again, you can mess around with the arrest functions if you'd like, but in my experience, they don't work too well. They're just something that needs to be fixed. We're gonna go ahead and hit Control E again. I'm going to go down to order him out of the vehicle. He's gonna step out, and what we're gonna do from here is we're going to go to Control U again, interactions, and search. At this point, it's gonna search the vehicle for us, and in the bottom left, it's gonna give us a result of this vehicle search. Nothing of interest. At this time, if I was really interested, suspected him of impaired driving, I can go ahead and breathalyze him. And it's going to give us a BAC of 0.00. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a drugalyzer for the sake of the video. And both are negative. There are times, again, this is randomly generated. There will be times where it will give you positive results or a high BAC. Again, not going to try the handcuffing. It just doesn't work. So Control E again. We're going to tell him to get back in his vehicle. And we are going to go ahead and... disclaimer here, do not issue tickets in our version of the script. Tickets are broken. They cause your vehicle to bug out when you return to them. You have zero control over your vehicle. So yeah, don't use that. If you want to issue them a ticket, what I'll do is I will issue them a warning and then do the emote notepad and just take a second and we'll release them out. I accidentally released them a little bit early. When they leave, they sometimes back into your car and do something crazy, but it's nothing anything you wouldn't expect from AI traffic. As you see, I hit shift, which released the car, so that was my fault. But to release them, you can just hit release as well, and you'd be good to go. Alright guys, that's pretty much our overview and training guide for the police interaction script. I hope you did enjoy that. I hope you learned something. If you are watching this video just because you wanted to see the functionality, great. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I know a lot of you can't wait to get your hands on this. We've been fortunate to be beta testers for the script. It's been a privilege of ours to do so, and we really enjoy doing it to help make the experience better for the whole FiveM community as a whole. If you are a part of our server, great. Welcome, and thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy your time here with us. I hope this video helped you learn how to use it. And better familiarize yourself with the system itself. We found that we use this pretty much when the patrols are going a little bit slower, civilians are being quiet, and we want to fill up the radio traffic. We will use this script just to to clear the dead air, and it generally seems to work quite well. Anyway, guys, if you have any other questions about the script, feel free to contact me, whether it's on YouTube, or the easiest way to get a hold of me is on my Discord. Discord.sanandreas911.com. Get a hold of me on there. Again, my name is Jeff. If you're interested or looking for a FiveM roleplay community you'd like to join, give us a shot. Check us out, sanandreas911.com. Go to employment, and you can apply for your whatever department you want, and then join our Discord, discord.sanandreas911.com. Get in on the action on Discord. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for this video. We will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.